What's up, Razmanites? You got the Razman here with, unfortunately, a very, very sad subject to talk to you about today. I apologize once again for the audio video. For those of you that don't follow me on Twitter or have me on Facebook, my computer issues are just continuing, and until I can get a new one, which will hopefully be sooner rather than later, because I should have enough by my next payment to start buying parts. But until I do, this is the way videos will have to be. And I prefer doing them podcast style like this rather than live on Google Plus simply because I can better the audio. And as I said, today is a very, very sad day as this morning the entire WWE universe and wrestling fans in general woke up to the incredibly sad news of the passing of WWE Hall of Famer, the legendary, the Ultimate Warrior, who just 4 nights ago, this past Saturday night, was inducted rightfully into the WWE Hall of Fame, and just 2 nights ago, on Monday Night Raw from New Orleans, appeared on Raw for the first time since 1996, and that of course would end up becoming to be, his final appearance on the program. So everybody's just in utter shock. No one actually knows the cause of death at this time, other than the fact that he apparently collapsed in front of his hotel room. I remember so many things about the Ultimate Warrior. He was one of the first guys I ever saw in the ring, and I call myself a hardcore wrestling fan from the age of 12. I'm 34 years old now, and I call myself a hardcore wrestling fan from the age of 12, but the reason I say hardcore fan from the age of 12 is because that's where your memories are non-stop. That's the earliest that I can remember, everything vividly. But I've had wrestling memories my whole life, and one of the earliest memories I have is seeing my first ever WrestleMania, which was WrestleMania 6, and not knowing anything like I do now about the business and how athletic these guys are and how much work goes into them putting on performances in the ring. But just knowing that my two favorite heroes, Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior, were facing each other in the main event at WrestleMania 6 from the Sky Dome in Toronto. And that's literally, I'm not just saying this to get my video more views or get more sympathy. But that's literally the earliest wrestling memory that I have is that match. That's the only match from that early in my life that I can remember from start to finish. And just how excited everybody was and how torn the crowd was that night. And of course, the other big memory that I have, because I'm a huge WCW mark, was his unexpected debut in WCW in 1998 on Monday Nitro. And just the incredible promo that he cut on Hulk Hogan that night. And then he went on to face Hogan at Halloween Havoc in 1998. Or was it 97? It might have even been 97. I'll have to look up the actual date of that appearance. But yeah, that whole time, even though WCW, like so many other guys, didn't use him right during the end of their run of, the NWO being so hot, and that's when things really started to fall downhill for that company. So they didn't use Warrior right, and it was a very dark period for Warrior, but it was always one of my favorite periods, just because I never thought I would see him again. And of course, he's one of the greatest Intercontinental Champions of all time, and the only man to this day to ever simultaneously hold the Intercontinental Championship and what is now the WWE Championship, what of course was then the World Wrestling Federation Championship, and I think it would be awesome. I don't know if it would be possible. It probably wouldn't be, but I think it would be just incredibly awesome as an honor to his memory to have them do a Monday Night Raw episode this Monday and call it WWF Monday Night Raw just for one night because of what he said in his Hall of Fame speech. I wish that they could put the F back in for us old timers that have trouble remembering such detail. I think that would be a great salute to him if that happened. I want to quote for you, so bear with me for a minute if there's a pause in the audio. I'll do my best to edit out all the pauses before this video goes up. But I want to read from you, or to you, an excerpt from his Hall of Fame, or no, not his Hall of Fame, sorry, his appearance on Monday Night Raw for the last time. And I want to read you this excerpt just because it's so powerful and it's so poignant, and it almost makes you wonder if he knew what was going to happen to him. If it was a heart attack, obviously he couldn't have known. But just listen to these words and listen how poetic and just unbelievably prophetic these words are, considering what has happened. Every man's heart one day beats its final beat. His lung breathes its final breath. And if what that man did in his life makes the blood pulse through the bodies of others, if it makes them believe deeper in something larger than life, then in essence his spirit will be immortalized. Just think about the warrior saying those words and him dying just 24 hours later, and us as members of the WWE Universe learning of the death 48 hours later. It is just the most amazing thing, and I'm just so incredibly saddened. Not as a fan, of course I'm saddened as a fan, and we all are, but I'm just so incredibly saddened for his family and his two young daughters who were on stage with him during the Hall of Fame. And it just it's so incredibly hard to talk about. And I just have to mention to Triple H, Paul Levesque, because in the past 2 years he has brought us back as wrestling fans out of exile and helped put aside all the dark differences for two of the greatest legends of all time in back-to-back years for headlines to the Hall of Fame. Bruno Sammartino, and now the Ultimate Warrior. And I just want to thank him so much for what he was able to do to make that happen. We love you, Warrior. We are all such proud members of One Warrior Nation. Rest in peace.